spokesperson for UNRWA. And Louise, we were speaking to you a short time ago. You started by saying people couldn't imagine that it was going to get any worse, and now it has. Just continue with that thought, what you were going to tell us about what life is like for many people at the moment, particularly with this very bad weather that's just struck.
It's absolutely miserable. It's utterly miserable. The last few days I've been with people sheltering in these conditions. They don't have homes. They don't have shelter. They're living in rubble. At best, they have plastic sheeting to try and protect them from wind and rain. But realistically, most people are sheltering under blankets, curtains, bed sheets. It's really, really appalling. A father yesterday was telling me how rats come in at night where him and his family are sleeping, and they've got water on the floor. It's very cold. Children are crying because they don't have cold weather gear. They don't have coats. They don't have warm jumpers. It is truly, truly miserable.
And Louise, there's a particular concern, I understand, about sewage as well.
At the moment, there's 500,000 people at risk of flooding. And this isn't just from rainwater. At the moment, because everything has been decimated, everything about society has been decimated, including the sewage and water systems, people will be flooded by sewage soon. As the water continues, there's just no infrastructure here. There's sewage flowing through the streets. There's sewage flowing through people's, where they sleep at night, where their heads at night are. It couldn't get any worse than it is now. The bombing continues. The strikes continues. It's completely unbearable for everybody.
And is that what people tell you, that it is utterly unbearable, that they feel no sense of hope at this coming to an end anytime soon?
I was with a woman yesterday who was pregnant when the war began, and she told me she was so blessed to have a baby boy. He was killed at 1 month old. There was a strike next door and he was killed by shrapnel. And I was sitting in this room with her and her daughters. Her husband had been injured in the same strike. They had nothing. They were sharing some bread between them. That was the only meal they had a day. And they're almost crying in despair. They don't have anything. They need everything. But the biggest thing they ask is that they just want to go home. They want the war to end and they want to go home. The suffering is unbearable. It doesn't stop. It doesn't cease all day and all night. Children are shaking. Their teeth are chattering. There's drones all around us all the time. It is relentless. It has to stop now. It's really, really the worst it's ever been. And people have had enough. They are accepting their fate, and they just accept that they will be killed, and it would be better than the suffering they have now.
Louise, in terms of the immediate needs that you mentioned as well, how much aid is getting in and how is that being distributed?
It's not enough. It's never enough. I was in Gaza City with UNRWA colleagues yesterday. I mean, these people are working day and night. They are getting tarps out, plastic sheeting, food packages. They're doing what they can, but it's not enough. It means people might have some food tomorrow, and then what? People might have a piece of plastic to stop them getting wet in the rain, but then what? What happens when that's bombed? What happens when it's torn in shrapnel? There's no solution here. We're doing what we can every day, but the biggest United Nations agency on the ground is about to be, finished. We've been told, we've been warned by the authorities that operations from UNRWA will cease. Now would be a disaster for that to happen. We are feeling it every day here, how bad that impact will be with everything going on.
Louise, thank you for taking the time to join us, and I'm pleased we reconnected